G'day everybody. So it's Saturday, and yes, we're still at work. This will be the last weekend here for some time. Anyway, we're Marco's still out there packing, and Jane and I are working, and it's a grey, overcast day outside, getting warm. It's 15 degrees or something, and it's official. This is now redundant. Well, sort of. This is the 2023 edition of the Notice of Race. We've now finally completed the 2027 edition of the Notice of Race, and now I'm actually working on this thing, the entrant book, for those that want to enter, and that'll be up on Monday. So Monday you'll be able to have a sneak peek at the 27 Notice of Race and so on, and then technically then on Monday the applications will be open for 2027 OGR, and then on Tuesday we head to the UK to wrap up this one. Quite amazing, eh? Sad news for Translated 9. Yeah, we got that call early yesterday morning, but we didn't want to say anything to anyone because they saw the crack developing, or saw some delamination on the inside of the hull after they got that big knockdown. And that weather was interesting because it was forecasting still in the low 30s. So we gave, as you know, a weather warning to Penduick because they were up higher and they were getting the front come through. And both L'Esprit d'Équipe and Translated were further down the list, further away from that front. And forecast was 31 knots, gusting 40 something, but it looks like they were getting up to 50. So they took from what we can tell from their record, the phone conversation later, they took a big broach, overloaded everything maybe, but then they detected some delamination, and that was early in the morning. That was about 7:30 in the morning, and then they said, look, they're monitoring it. They'll see what's going on. They're just assessing the situation, and then we got the call about 2:00 in the afternoon. Oh no, it was just after the tracker. Got the call, and they explained that it had got really bad. The whole of the repair had delaminated from the hull, so they were looking at the same scenario they had when they were out from the Falklands, and so then it was decided that they had to go and seek shelter and make repairs. So at that stage they just said they'll see what happens, and I think they were originally intending to go to Portugal, but when they saw what was happening and a few other issues overnight, they decided it'd be better to go to Madeira, which is a little bit closer. So that's what's happening now. They're making their way to Madeira, and then when they get there, they'll assess the situation totally and see what happens. The interesting thing is there is no time limit on the last leg of the OGR. The other three legs, when you've got a restart, there is a time limit, but it's specifically declared in the Notice of Race. The last leg is no time limit, so you can take as long as you want to finish. So I'd say they'll be making their repair in Madeira and then see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be a long story. If they're really quick, they could probably make the repair and still beat Explorer. But anyway, that's another story. I don't know what's going on there. They're slowing down. So we're watching the tweets come in. But anyway, nothing suggesting anything else happening. And all the tweets are just under this post. Jane got them up, so you can have a look at that and see what's going on. So we'll go straight to the tracker, and we'll see what's happening here. We should be into, here we go, we should be into the 12 o'clock positions. Yep, we're on to 12. Interesting to see Penduick heading in towards the coast a bit, but anyway, that's they're getting weather. Everyone's getting weather forecast now. Even Explorer got a weather fact, so that's pretty cool. And there's still some little challenges coming up, but people are moving. Here's Madeira. That's where Translated are heading to now. Translated doing 7.1 knots, and the distance between there is 430. So another 2.5 days. So today, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, sometime on Tuesday, late Tuesday, I reckon I might see them into Madeira. It's quite an interesting place. I've never been there, but we've looked at stopping a few events there on a couple of different occasions, and they've got, there's a fair few people live there. The big port, lot of cruise ships call in and bits and pieces, so they should be pretty squared away when they get there. And the weather, you can see, is pretty benign over the next couple of days going in there, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. So we'll start at the bottom of the list with today's weather, and let's see what Explorer's doing. 6.2 knots. They haven't been that fast in a week, so that's encouraging. All right, so 6.2 knots on a course of 339 degrees. That's not too bad. So they're making ground. They've done 88-mile day. Jeepers, that's pretty cool. I think that's Captain Coconut's number. His GGR number, isn't it? 88 or 28? 88. Oh, that's why he did it. He wanted to get an 88-mile day. That's his lucky number. He sails with that on Coconut in the Golden Globe race. So that's encouraging. Only 3,100 miles to go. Normally, I'd say that's 3 weeks, which is 21 days plus another 4. It's the 25th. They're thinking the 28th of this month. I'm thinking more like about the 4th or the 5th of May. So let's wait and see what happens. And we're still working on some issues there with visas, and there may be a hole there, but we'll see. So Sterner, 6.2 knots. 6.2 knots. Oh, I thought Explorer was sailing faster than Sterner. Anyway, that would be groundbreaking for Jarrett and the boys. They'd be thinking, "Ooh, whoop, whoop, hang on." So Jeremy's doing 6.2 knots and managed 111-mile day, so not too bad. The challenge is this sort of this high pressure system here. It's now developing headwinds and it's rolling around. So you can see here, Jeremy's still holding on starboard tack, which isn't so bad. White Shadow's had to tack across because now, what you're going to see here, if you look at down the run line, Jeremy's holding up. He's nearly catching up to White Shadow, which will really miff White Shadow and make Sterner quite happy along the course. So White Shadow's doing 5.7, and they did 95-mile day, and they've got 2,360 against Sterner, 2,514, 360. So only 150 miles behind White Shadow or something. And lo and behold, there's Triana. Not a good look. Not very far ahead of anyone at the moment, and now they've got headwinds right on track. So while Triana's got these headwinds coming down, Maiden is still a bit plugging along as well. Not so good, but Penjuic just roaring along, 9.4. Anyway, so yeah, not good for these guys down here, and it's going to continue for a while. So still making time, 6.9 knots, 128-mile day, right alongside Galliana. So they caught, Galliana slipped way behind now from where they were a week ago. Doing 6.9 knots, 138-mile day, exactly the same, or 10 miles more than Triana. Evrika's over on starboard tack, 6.4, 121-mile day. And Outlaw, 5.9, 171-mile day on port tack, with this wind swinging around. And Maiden, 7.4, 188-mile day. So that's not so bad. Spirit of Helsinki, 6.6, not too fast, not exactly slow, but they did 200 miles in the last 24 hours, so that's fine. And then Neptune, they seem to be losing out a bit. They were looking good, but they're coming across to the east of the course now and lost a bit of ground. But 170-mile day, which is okay, 6.4, and this center of the high is chasing them, so that's going to cause havoc shortly, I reckon. 8.6 knots for the Speeder Keep, 199-mile day, second in line honours, third in IRC. So who's got the IRC? First in line honours for Penjuic at 9.4 and 226-mile day, second in IRC. So who's got the IRC? Well, it must be... okay, Translated are still showing first in IRC, first in flyer class, but that'll change, of course. And there's fourth. So it must be Maiden. Nope, sixth. Nope, all over the place. I'm losing track here. Oh, give it up. Okay. So that's a bit of a rundown for there. Let's just walk this weather through, because this high is going to dictate quite some interesting things in the next couple of days. So I'm going to come down so we can see going forward, because you can see these guys are on the headwind side of this low high pressure system rather, a classic Azores high that's heading up towards Azores, but we'll just push it through and see what happens. So you can see in that quick transition the area of very light winds and frustrating winds is disappearing fast. This is by midnight tonight, local time in Europe, so 2200. So 10 hours from now, this is what it looks like. There's quite a fast change there, and that's good for Penduic. It's good for L'Esprit de Keep. It'll be good for Spirit of Helsinki, and also Neptune. They're in there, but I think Maiden carrying on, they'll still be going a little bit slow. They'll still be up in here, not so much wind. Same for Outlaw. And then the other guys, they'll have an opportunity to go north. They won't go on the other tack. They'll be on starboard tack going north with this breeze here, and it'll just send them up into the no wind zone. So let's see what the second day brings. It's not too bad, but it's going to be very light for them, that's for sure. So here goes the second day. Yeah, they've got light winds anyway, so within 12 hours they'll be sailing, and they'll be going up the back edge of that high, which isn't too bad. So these guys here will be onto it. They'll be sailing up this way, straight up in there. Not as direct as the leaders, but still kind of okay. So that's past 2 days. That's 2 days and 4 hours to be precise. So in 2 days, let's say 226. So I think that's fair to say that's exactly what Penduic will have. So that's about 450 miles. So in 450 miles, will Penduic stay ahead of... Ooh, jeepers. They're going to be right on the edge of this. Right on the edge. I don't think Penduic will be fast enough to crack into this lot. I think I didn't see it going past, but anyway, certainly L'Esprit de Keep, they'll slow down. They'll be in this lot here at the time, and Neptune, they'll be going slow as well. They'll be tied up in this. But can Penduic get through? I don't think so, but we'll just look at that again. We'll go backwards a bit and see how quickly that comes across. Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't think so. I think she's going to get caught in the top end of it there. I think she's going to slow down there as well. But you can see behind here, these guys here will be running up the back. These ones here could be in the mix, but a little bit messy. So that's not so exciting. And then for Sterner, they'll be up across here, and Explorer, not sure, could be over here somewhere. But let's just scan back and follow the weather all the way through into the UK again, just to show you what's going on here. This is the 8th, so you can imagine Marie was just on here, but as soon as that disappears on the 9th, she's into this breeze running through there, and there's plenty of it, and she's still scheduled for some time on the 11th. So I think I can kick this up one more time. Yep. And there's Penduic here. She'll be running up the side here. So there's a really good breeze gradient, plenty of it, all going in the right directions. That's on the 10th as she's closing into the channel there. And then we go through to just got heaps, through to the 11th, and she'll get in sometime there. That's early in the morning on the 11th. It'll be quite calm, getting a bit quiet by the afternoon, and it'll be a drifter. But she's got plenty of power and plenty of reasonably good weather to get through that lot. So that's pretty cool. The ones behind, though, if they're hooked up in some of this stuff, they surely won't be having much fun at all. So that's going to be their challenge. Anyway, let's look at the leaderboard for IRC. Line on us is Penduic, L'Esprit de Keep, Translated, Spirit of Helsinki, Neptune, Maiden, Outlaw, Evrika, and so on. IRC, we don't want Adventure class, we want that one. Okay, Translated 9 is still holding IRC at 47. So she was actually quite a long way in front there, which would have been very hard to beat. But now it's all going to change. So Penduic is holding 48.6. 48.9 for L'Esprit de Keep. So L'Esprit de Keep boring down their back. Neptune then, and then Outlaw. So it's looking like Penduic has got a realistic chance of trying to hold Line Honours and IRC for leg 4. There's not a long way to go. And so if we look at Maiden back here, 51 days, 48, not looking healthy for them to try and snatch it away from them. So I think there's a lot to be said. If Marie can get IRC, it gives her a bit more credibility because, biggest boat always usually gets home first. But IRC is for the best sailors. So that could be, and I think that'll be the first time they've nailed it if they get it. I don't remember now. But that might be the first time they have a crack at line honours and IRC. So it'd be good luck for her if she can, her and her team can pull that off. It'd be quite amazing. Esprit de Keep, always hanging out and hopeful. Hometown boat here for Les Sables d'Olonne. A few people cheering on for that. And then, we just got to see how it goes. Triana, right down here, 52 days. But the good news for them is that Maiden is only a day and a bit in front. So that secures their spot by the look of it for leg 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's just go and have a look at that while we're here. We'll do combined results just to upgrade it. We can play around with this. I better get onto the Bayonet platform as well later. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. We don't need to look at the boats. We just need to look at this one here, IRC for the whole lot. Now, Triana's on 182 days. Ooh, jeepers. And Maiden is only 2 days behind. 2 days, less than 2 days actually. 3 hours off 3 hours off 2 days. So that's only 1 day and 21 hours or something. 21. I can't think and talk and look at the same time. Anyway, Helsinki's another day and a bit behind that, day and a half or so. So it's really now looking very interesting for these two. Can Maiden take out 2 days in what's left? I doubt it unless something happens. But Triana's not in the clear yet. She's still got those headwinds and bits and pieces, so it's not impossible. But not impossible, but unlikely. But anything can happen. Let's just have a look here again while we've got this and just see, just to review once again where Triana actually is, because here's Maiden there, and here's Triana right down there. She's 467 miles away, okay? And they're basically getting into 2 different types of weather patterns now. Triana's down here on the wrong side of the high, which is going to take him a day or so to get up here. But in the meantime, he's wasting his time, running out on port tack away from everything. So I think at best, if I had to guess, I'd say, looking at this, my gut feeling is the best Maiden could do is get to within about a day. I doubt whether they'll have enough opportunity there to do it, but who knows? I speculate. Anyway, that's probably enough. I'm going to dig myself into a hole here in a minute before we get anywhere. So enough of that. Let's come over here and just say good day to a few people and see what's happening on the weekend. I see Dan over in Adelaide launched his 580. That's pretty exciting. We're starting to think MGR a little bit before we even finish the OGR. Anyway, translator, bad luck there. G'day, Elizabeth, Nigel. G'day, afternoon, Terry Sinclair. Hey, loving the coverage. So gutted about translated. Yep. Whole load of family and friends here invested in their vibe. Yeah, Marco's Marco's pretty cool. But anyway, they're onto it. And hang on a sec, as well as us invested. Being married to Jenny, do you know if Claire Francis, who took her around the last is following? I'm sure she is. She came down to see the boat, so I'm sure every now and then she'd be following what Translated are up to. And their whole team came down to see the boat in Southampton before they left, so it was quite epic. So anyway, all part of the fun. Beautiful craft, not least of course Tracy. Yeah, all the boats are quite classic. The one that hits me the most is Penjuic. When you see her sailing and you understand what the boat is, it's a bit more of a classic. Penjuic, Maiden's an absolute race boat. It was designed as a race boat. So was Penjuic, but just for a different type of feel. Penjuic, I always say, there is no one is ever going to build another boat like Penjuic, because why would you? So it's great to see the boats actually still going. So all kind of fun. Anyway, morning, Paul. Morning, we missed our morning information session. Oh, well, there you go. It's going to go on for a while. Explorer's going to be out there for another month. So, but we probably, anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay, Pat, Warren West is again. Okay. Given the weather forecast, do you think Marie can win the combined IRC? Oh, there's a very good chance. My feeling is that this could be her crowning glory to knock off the double. It's looking as if it might be possible. So we'll just have to wait and see. But she's in a good position. Absolutely, if she can stay ahead of that high and log into the other stuff so she doesn't slow down, then she's absolutely looking hot for line on this and IRC. All fun. So keep watching. Anything can happen. And I'm not guaranteeing anything. They're just my opinions. Don't hold me to it. Okay, have a good weekend, and we'll